Hi, I'm Helle. Today I'm joined by Hans and Maikel from Instabil, and they have a new game ready for Kickstarter. And we are going to talk a bit about the game and how it has been born. And maybe you should introduce yourself. Hans.
Yeah, I'm Hans Joachim Höh, and part of the designer team of Spiel Instabil. And let's hear from Maikel, who started all of this.
Yes, hi guys. This is Maikel Cheney from Germany. So I started the project Feed the Kraken and Spiel Instabil, and the general idea was to get a group of people, a bunch of people keen of playing board games and makers of board games, and to make to make a cool big box deduction game. And this was the moment where Feed the Kraken was born. At the beginning, let's say, it wasn't even called Feed the Kraken. It was just called, the working title was Pirates. So the general idea was started in with making a social deduction game with an easy theme, where you know who are the good guys, who are the bad guys. So you got pirates. Pirates, of course, are the bad guys. And you got the good guys, and these are the sailors, the loyal sailors wanting to reach the goal. And at the beginning, the game was just like, I say, two-dimensional. So you had the good guys, the bad guys. And I started play testing with one of my best friends, Tobias. So he's the third guy in our Instabil group. And the cool thing is, in Munich, over here in Germany, they had a board game cafe, and they opened. It was like the first few months of the board game cafe. So we went there, and we started playing this Pirates Feed the Kraken regularly every second week. And we've had a bit of a play testing group, and it worked out so well. People had so much fun. And we thought, okay, we have to bring this to the next step. We have to get serious now. We have to start really making idea, like an idea, and making it to be a proper game. And that was more or less the moment where we met Hans. Yes, we went to the little convention here in North Rhine-Westphalia, and was Spieldoch in Germany. I suppose you won't know that if you're from out of Germany, because it's a very small convention. Yeah. And at that moment, Hans was at the convention too, and he was showing his game Götterdämmerung from Amigo, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also a social deduction game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ran into those two. Actually, I saw a little video about them very few days earlier. So I already had them on my radar. Maikel and Toby were getting interviewed about the projects they're working on, and I saw that on YouTube, and I was hooked, as in these people are really enthusiastic about what they are trying to do, and I think that's a very, very important feature in anything you want to be successful in life.
Have
but
some passion about it.
Yeah. I really liked how they were feeling about the game, how they were promoting it, how they were talking about it. So I didn't even have a chance to play in Duisburg at the convention, because I was busy showing my own game, my earlier game, and we had a short talk, and I felt really good about the connection and about how they were approaching things. So I was offering up to help them, because they saw I also had published a game in the same genre, and hopefully they thought I knew what I was doing. So we figured something out afterwards.
Well, did you make some changes for the game then?
Yes, I was offering just to give my input to help them playtest, just because I love the genre. And yeah, and then I was just I kept offering. I was like, okay, if you want my input, if you want to get a lot more energy from me into development, then we should try to work out how to work as a team, and if you want to, and yeah, they'd like to do that. So that's how we started, as a team of 3.
I remember just after the convention. So I remember Tobias and I, we met you there. We had a bit of a chat, and then we played a game of Götterdämmerung at the convention. That was great, fantastic. But then we went home and like we got things settled a little bit. In a week or 2 went past, and then Hans wrote us and said, "Hey, send me a prototype." And I said, "Yeah, okay. Ooh, prototype. It's a lot of work." So I think we had a little call, and I said, "Okay, so if you really want to join, if we're getting serious now, we'll have to come and visit you, because I have to speak with you in person. I have to see what this Hans, what he's up to." And I remember it was like it only took like a couple of days, and Tobias and I, we booked a ticket for the train, and it's about 700 kilometers distance. So it's not like we can't just go and visit. So we had to like get this plan, and then I didn't want to wait 2 or 3 weeks. I wanted to have it like tomorrow. I wanted to meet this guy, and then so we booked the train, and we booked an overnight train. But it was terrible because it wasn't a sleeping train, just like a normal train, but we went overnight.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Friday morning, Tobias and I arrived at Hans' place, totally tired, totally exhausted from the train ride. And then we came over there with all our prototype stuff, and he put on his table and said, "Okay, Hans, let's get serious." And I think after like we had a 2 hour sleep, and then we started developing the next steps of the game, and it was super cool because we actually brought a 3rd dimension into the game.
Yeah, is that the cult leader you're thinking of? And I think that's a brilliant, that you got that extra element in the game, and that's more different from kind of the resistance.
Yeah, I guess. I had some experience in. I was experimenting with a 3rd faction for various of my other things I was thinking about, and so I had the idea of how to like, I think there are multiple approaches that you can take if you want more than 2 factions in such a game, and I already thought a bunch about that, and I was offering like 2 different ways how we could do this, and or the 2 ways I would prefer the most. And so we figured out what Maikel and Tobias liked, and then we went from there. And I think we did great.
You did great. I think so personally, because I like that element, especially if you like to have confusion in the social deduction games, then that adds even another level to the game. Because you might have started to figuring out who is the privates, who is the sailors, but if you have a conversion, then you will just be confused and don't know who you can trust again in the game.
Right. One important thing that I was worried about at the beginning, and was very important for me, is not to have too many game changes during the game. So some other social deduction games where roles change often, I didn't really like them, because then like it has a bit of a feeling that you've played for half an hour, and now all things change, and now it doesn't matter what had happened the first half an hour, because you can't rely on things. So when we integrated the 3rd role, we really put lots of effort and thought into it to not, on one hand, to not make too many people change the role. Just have 2 or 3 people maximum switch their roles, and then include rules and mechanics to have people who have built trust, that we know what you know something about, to not that like everything just explode and the whole game changes, and like you got a new game and the first hour of playing is ridiculous because you have got the information. And I think we done a pretty good job, and I'm very happy with the solution that we got now. It's so cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's a very, very natural feeling, restrictions on who can actually be turned on, who can switch sides, and who can't. So the group of players that are actually available to such sites is not that big. So you have a easier time to wrap your head around on like who might be the one that has been turned.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about 11 players or whatever you have at the table, or 8, or you have a reduced group and you can try to figure that out.
Yeah, because you can have some when they have the cabin search, then you know, or if they have been flogged, then you do know something about them.
Right, yes.
Yeah. And but how long time has it taken from you started the development of the game until now?
Well, I think the initial idea is about 2.5 years old now, more or less. Yeah, it's about 2.5 years. And like the very first initial idea was to have a travel edition social deduction game. Like and the pirate theme. If you go, if you travel, and you go to the jungle and to the beach, and you got this pirate social deduction game, and you can sit there around a fire and pretend you're pirates and sailors, and you're traveling to some safe island. I thought that it was so fantastic. So that idea arose about 2.5 years ago. And then from then on, from the travel edition social deduction game, and went to a big box social deduction game.
Yeah,
it's not that that travel easy anymore. Yeah, I don't regret any of our ideas.
I think we should start maybe looking a bit at the game. Now we talk about the game and the
Yes.
components for the game. So this is the small travel game you started with? No, it's not. It's kind of grown your game. It's definitely not a travel game, this version of the game. And maybe you will explain a bit about what we are looking at here.
Yeah, so this is the sea map of our little world. So one thing that like we invented when we designed the map was to imagine you've got your captain sitting at his desk inside of the ship, and now the captain is like preparing the route where we're going to sail to. So we imagined, what would the captain imagine when he looks at the map? So every player feels like he is sitting over there on the desk being a captain, and he's imagining now the route to get to our Crimson Cove or to the Sailor Victory side, Blue Water Bay. And now we thought, okay, so now the captain sees these abstract fields, and he sees like, okay, we need a sea map and we need to route through all these things. And so we've got this abstract image of a sea map with all these tokens and icons and all these dangerous things laying ahead.
Yeah.
And that was our main vision to bring to the player. And of course, the other thing was to give the players a big game board.
Mm.
So this game is meant to be played for 8, 7, 9, or even up to 11 players. And we didn't want like a big group of people sitting in front of a small board. So people gather around this board, and they all feel like, okay, this is the ocean. The ocean is big, and we've got a long journey to sail.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is the board of Feed the Kraken.
Yeah, and it's a big board, and I think it's visually good. It's easy for you to see in which directions the ship will go when you have these arrows in the right color. And yeah, in the game, as you say, you can navigate the ship, and you just have red cards and blue cards and yellow cards, which will point in the direction that the ship will sail. And in the game, as you mentioned, you will not only have 2 teams, you actually have 3 teams where these 2 are on the same team in the game. And all will fight for getting the ship up to their ending space, or perhaps throw the cultist leader overboard to feed him to the Kraken. So each team, they have their own way they can win the game. But that's not the only thing. You also have you have also added some guns from Mutiny, and you have added the character cards with the special powers you can use in the game. And they are actually also quite important in this game to use them at the right times.
Yeah, every player will have his own unique ability, which will be randomly assigned each game. So you have something else going on every time. Of course, that adds a lot of replayability, lots of different configurations you can have. You can have the same character but be on a different team this time, or you could have a different character and so on. So there's a lot of different things going on, and like how you can play your special ability, like you can play it once during the entire game, and it will be like very important when you do so. And of course, every tiny step on the map, every decision where the ship is going next is important, and you can argue about this, and you can try to shift the blame on somebody else. It was his fault, her fault, and so on. So a lot going on, but it's not overwhelming. Now, if you look at the board and have never heard of anything and haven't seen it in action, it may seem like a lot of components, but it's actually very easy to grasp what's going on, because it's like very natural, like steering a ship, and just making a crew, like give jobs to players. What are you up to in this next step of the navigation, and then just go through the navigation steps. It comes quite naturally.
This is a prototype of the game. So how far away from the normal game is this game from the one you think you will put into production? I mean, we also have this cool 3D printed ship on it.
I think the ship is amazing. It's so great. I haven't got. I will see if I can grab one of my old ships just now. But this, So first thing, I was the main craftsman. How do you say it in English? I'm not sure of the English word, but from the beginning of the design phase, I've been working on the prototype version of the game, making it very appealing for the eyes and for the players. So this was one of my main jobs, to get this prototype to look as sweet as possible. And now this setup you see on the table is, I would say, very close to the production setup that we're going to have. Of course, all components now are handcrafted by ourselves, and I have hand printed these things all with a 3D printer. And of course, they will be produced professionally in a big factory. And we will have, on those 3D components, we will have like super cool updates that won't come out in the 3D printer. So you can all be looking forward to having like even cooler components that you see right now. And we've got the cards you see, the character cards. They are super big sized. You can see over here, this is not a normal card size. These are XXL big cards. You've got a normal playing card will be like about this side.
Yeah.
Every player's got their special character in a super big nice card in front of them. And what else? What things are going to change? We're having, instead of having these plastic guns, we are having nice wooden guns carved out in a special form and engraved on both sides. And I think these wooden guns will be really fantastic, because they'll have a bit of weight in your hand. Yeah. And when you take your 3 guns in your hand, you actually can feel them. And these plastic things, they are a bit.
They're very light.
They're very light. Yeah. They don't feel rich. They don't feel that good. So we are even upgrading this prototype to be even the final product will be even better, even cooler, even nicer.
And I really like this you have done yourself with your 3D printer. So I look forward to seeing how it will end up after the Kickstarter.
Oh yes.
But when do you plan to go to the Kickstarter?
So we would have already wanted to do that. We decided to, because we are basically done with all the preparation, that there's a lot of work that needs to go into preparing, of course, finishing all the details and preparing the Kickstarter campaign. But this would have been done, but then the pandemic struck. So I mean, everybody, like, especially in the first weeks of the pandemic, nobody knew what was going on, how bad everything would become, and so on. And we were like, now launching a game that is meant to be played in large groups when things started to be narrowed down, that people couldn't meet anymore and so on. We didn't feel like that this was a great time to launch our game. So we decided to push it back to some later point where we would feel better, where everybody would be more relaxed again and could go out and actually play with their friends.
Yeah.
So that's why we delayed our campaign.
That sounds like a good idea, but we did find a way to test the game, though.
That was great.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was super confusing because exactly the time when the pandemic started, that was the time frame where we wanted to go on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good point to mention Funtails. So we partnered. We made a partnership with the publisher Funtails, and you might know Funtails from Glenmore 2 Chronicles, and they successfully had a very cool Kickstarter. I think it was it last year, or it was about 1.5 years ago? The
last year.
Was last year.
Oh, we can't see it because of your virtual screen, Hans.
It's getting.
I've got a box here as well.
That's easier then.
A super massive box. Like, this is so heavy that I really need 2 hands to grab this box. And more or less about this will be Feed the Kraken, but we will have a square box instead. But this will be the same. Feed the Kraken will be more or less the same thing.
How will you make the board?
It will be a normal
cardboard
board. Yes, you can unfold.
Yeah.
And Funtails has been so supportive and so helpful, and a very, very good partner. So when the pandemic season started, we just had our Kickstarter video finished. So we met Funtails, and we went to record our Kickstarter video. And we just came home after having everything in the box and recording everything. We were like so full of excitement. And then the pandemic hits Germany. And then things were like, oh, what's going to happen next? What are we going to do now? And we had an emergency meeting, and we done a video call, and he said, okay, guys, we'll have to delay this. And Funtails was so cool and so helpful. Like, they really helped us out in these critical times, and they brought some control out of the situation. I said, okay, no worries, we're going to do this. So we're just going to delay it until later of the year. And then we're going to continue with all the stuff, prepare the Kickstarter, get it as prepared as we can. So as soon as we finish with the Kickstarter, we will have everything ready for production, and there won't be like a big long delay after the Kickstarter where we have to get all the details sorted out, because we're going to get that all done beforehand.
Yeah.
And
which is a big difference. Like, many campaigns just are not in that. Like, they try to collect the money and then still have lots and lots of work to do, and try to get the money to pay for artists and so on. We're done with everything. Like, everything.
Yeah, so you're pretty ready when you hit Kickstarter.
Yes. So
just some art, I guess.
Will instantly start once the Kickstarter is done.
But you also have these cards where you have work in progress. I kind of think you have some special things you want to do on the Kickstarter.
Yes, exactly. So we've got all these character cards for the players, making a super cool illustration for every card. And of course, we are keeping some of the illustrations open for our fans and our backers. And we're planning to do a bit of a competition where we allow people to participate, and they can hand in images, and then they will be featured on one of our character cards, and they'll be put into the game, and it will be sold in every box of the game. So the details of the character card competition we are going to release very shortly. So keep your eyes open for our social media area. You'll see exactly what to do and how to get on board of the ship.
Yeah, that's a cool idea, Maikel. So people will have to dress up like pirates and take pictures and send them into you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
So just to clear this up, we are not going to sell those things. You can't buy just in. You have to come up with something cool and dress up, and then we will feature you. It won't at no cost for you. You just need to come up with something cool.
Yeah, that's fun. What are your hopes for Feed the Kraken? If you look ahead.
Well, I can say, of course, I've got big hopes. So we've been working on this for 2.5 years, and of course, I like my personal hope is to have the box in my hand. Like I've been dreaming of having Feed the Kraken. I've got all these little icons over here, and the most important thing is here. Be aware there are small parts and small children they will choke on this. This is like my vision of having the game on the box. In a big box, but of course we would like to establish a little bit of this pirates theme world of Feed the Kraken, and maybe continue with a couple of other games in this theme, in this world, and so Feed the Kraken will set a first step maybe into a small theme of maybe a series of small other things, and we'll just see how it goes on. Just see if the world is ready for the Kraken theme,
yeah,
and if people have fun with it and enjoy it, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I really look forward to when you're going to Kickstarter and follow along on the side, and I really hope it will go very well with the game, because I think it's an awesome game. And yeah, if you like social deduction games, then you'll definitely have fun with this game. And then I want to ask you something completely different.
Okay.
And then I would like to know, which color do you prefer to play with? If you have one.
I think it might seem an easy question, but of course things in life, they're not always easy. And I think the color of the player color of your meeple, I think it is quite important. And for me, it is important because I would always choose the non-color meeple, because
White?
The non-color, white or black or gray.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because somehow that makes it easier for me to see what's happening on the board, because like all the icons of the game, all the other meeples, they all got colors. I don't know. So let's imagine a worker placement game where you've got like every player's got 5 cubes or 5 workers spread out on the board, and then you've got your icons for food and your icons for wood and I don't know what, stones and everything, and you get so confused with all these colors. And then if you take a color that might be even a color matching of the wood, you take the brown color or whatever, or like a reddish color, you'll get confused with all the things. So I take the non-color. And then if I look at the board, I can in my head, I can take out all the colors and I just see, okay, these white ones, they are my workers. And it's easy for me to spot them. So I'm very, this is the important thing. You can't just pick a color. You have to.
But what if there are little sheeps in the game? Do they take black?
Yeah, I don't play games where we got white sheeps. No, or black coal. Yeah, no, I don't play those games.
So no power grid for you.
No. Yeah, so that's my strategy.
Wow. And I think what about you, Hans? Do you have a long story for your preferred color too?
I usually just let everybody get their favorite color and just take whatever's there.
Well, it's fun. I have a group where we are 4 girls playing, and we all have our own color. It's so easy for us. We already know you are blue, you are red, you are green, and you are yellow. So we have our preferred colors when we play all the time. And of course, you have to choose something else when the color isn't there. But So you didn't actually have just one color you will stick to if it's there. Interesting.
I mean, yeah, if everybody doesn't care, I'd probably play with black as well.
Yeah. Well, that's my second color. Not the first one. Okay. And do you have anything you want to mention?
Anything missing, Maikel?
Yeah.
Anything missing? Well, maybe what would be very nice if you enjoyed Feed the Kraken, and if you are waiting for the Kickstarter to come, then have a look at our Board Game Geek page, and you can have a look into the forum. What's the English word for forum? I don't know. Forum. Yeah. So have a look at our Board Game Geek page of Feed the Kraken, and you can have a look at the forum, and we've got a couple of things to discuss on. You can get some behind the scenes information, or of course you could stumble upon one of our online gaming threads over there. And if you're interested in having a game online, then you can either contact me or you can contact Helle, and I'm sure we'll be planning a couple of online games and online rounds in the next couple of weeks. So just say hello, say hi, and if you played Feed the Kraken, write your own captain's log, talk about the game a little bit, and then share your experience you had, if you got your tongue cut out, or if anything other happened with you, or if you won the game. Just leave a little note, and I'm very happy, and I'm very excited to read any entries over there.
Well, thank you guys. It has really been awesome that you would join in for an interview about your upcoming game, which will soon hopefully be on Kickstarter, and we will all watch it and of course support the game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Helen. Thank you for inviting us.